Hey everyone, and welcome back. I just want to start by saying thank you for tuning in. I super appreciate the support you give and the encouragement you give in regards to listening. It really truly means more than you know, because I love to be able to pour into people and educate on health. And so the fact that there are listeners out there tuning in and taking in what I have to say, it means a lot. And so thank you for that. Also, I want to thank you for your patience. So normally I release solo episodes on Thursdays. However, this one is coming out on a Friday, and maybe it doesn't really matter to you because you don't listen on a specific date. But I just want to say thank you for your patience on that, because my husband and Caleb and I were actually in the Florida Keys this past week, and our faith is super important to us. We're believers in the fact that Jesus Christ is Lord and he died on the cross for our sins. And so we are a part of a ministry called Evidence for Faith. The 4 is an actual numerical 4. And Evidence for Faith is a nonprofit focused all on biblical apologetics. So equipping believers on why they believe what they believe. And this is so important because it allows us to then truly know why we believe what we believe and have more faith, but then to also have conversations with other people on why we believe what we believe, and to actually have dialogue where we know what we're talking about and we know the proof. And so Michael, who is the founder and he's the speaker, the content creator, the teacher, is incredible at what he does. And he's been doing this for over 20 years. I want to say even 30 years, but let's just say over 20 years. And he is well versed in the content. So he dives into history, archaeology, the science, and he's able to have conversations on hot topics and be able to prove it as to why, certain biblical stories are true and accurate. He brings up different artifacts that were found that prove it. He also is able to talk about, scientific aspects and everything. And so he's really incredible at what he does. And so we were at the Florida Keys because there was a marine biology trip as a part of Evidence for Faith that went out to explore the ocean. The kids that went out were high schoolers and they learned all about marine biology. There was devotionals, there was worship. It was really an incredible experience. And being a part of the ministry, we were able to then see, what's occurring within the organization. And so it was really a blessing to be able to do that. And I highly encourage you to go check out Evidence for Faith, E4F podcast and YouTube, just to see what Michael has to offer. Whether you're a believer or not, it's really great to be able to immerse yourself in different content and really educate yourself on what is out there in the world when it comes to topics, religions, all of that. And so I highly encourage you to go check that out. And now, diving into this episode, we are going to be talking about taking a holistic approach to your health. And so one thing that I want to just put out there is the fact that a lot of my content is all related to genetics. And part of this is because I love genetics. It really was something that I got hooked on a few years back because of the fact that it is literally your body's blueprint. It takes so much of the guesswork out because my body takes better to this, or there's certain vitamins that I may lack just because of certain genes that I have. And so knowing this, it takes a lot of guesswork out. I know specifically what diet my body gravitates towards because of my genes. And some people are just wondering, should I do a keto diet? I'll try it, see what happens. And there's so much guessing, and genetics takes that guesswork out. And so that's why I really love it. And I love personality tests as well. And it kind of gives a little snapshot into your personality too. So there's a lot of different things that genetics has to offer. And even though I really encourage genetics and getting tested for that, it's just kind of a gateway as to explaining the whole approach to your body and your health. And so genetics is just one way that you can optimize your body. It's not the only way. There are so many other different factors that you need to contribute into your health plan to make your body better. So if we look at this as an upstream approach, getting your genetics tested is the cellular level. And it's really coming down to the root cause of why you're experiencing what you're experiencing. So a lot of the time in a typical doctor's office or doctor's office, we'll go with that. There is an approach as to, okay, you're experiencing this health problem. Rather than getting to the root cause, let's just put a Band-Aid on it. Take this medication, or just put out the fire. Let's just put out the fire. So rather than take an approach of, let's make sure that a fire doesn't start to begin with preventative health, and or taking approach as to like, let's, rather than putting a Band-Aid on it, let's just make sure that the terrain is not in a way where a fire is going to start or continue to have a flame. So taking the upstream approach goes down to the cellular level, which allows us to see the root cause of the issues you are having. And then from there, we are able to then look at other aspects. So this includes blood work. So knowing that your genes say that you may lack vitamin Bs, which if you lack vitamin Bs, there's a lot of different health issues that you're going to experience. That will get to a root cause of, okay, you lack vitamin Bs according to your genetics, and you're experiencing this, this, and this, which are correlated to that. Let's now test your blood work to see if you really are lacking, and maybe you aren't lacking, and that's another also a sign in the fact that maybe certain other genes are acting up and making it seem you have vitamin Bs, but you really don't. Trust me, it's a complicated process because many tests, genetic tests, I should say, like the typical ones you see that are the most well known, they focus on, oh, let's just test your body for the mother effer gene, or let's just test your body for the BRCA gene, which is cool. And also, we have to understand that genes and SNPs all together work, and it's all an algorithm. Rather than just looking at one specific gene and being like, oh no, I have the mother effer gene, like my health is going to be bad, I just know it because of this specific gene. No. Let's look at the whole approach as to the operation of that gene and how it is expressing itself. There are a lot of other genes that are going to influence how that one gene expresses itself. So, and how like genetics integrated with other layers such as blood work, gut health, stress. There's so many different things that go into the factors of how your genes are expressed. And looking at just one gene is not going to solve your problems because there are so many other factors that play into that. And that's considered the holistic approach. And so working upstream, we have getting your genetics tested at the cellular level, and then taking a look at your blood work to see what's working and what's like not in regards to your levels, and then continuing that with gut tests, and also doing an analyzation of your current lifestyle. So there could be so many different contributors as to why you're experiencing what you're experiencing. And so I like to break it down, your whole lifestyle, into a few key pillars. So we have environmental. What's your environment like? Are you living in a home with mold and toxins? Because that has so much more of an influence than you know. And if you genetically are predisposed to experiencing, toxic overload or not able to clear out toxins as well, that is going to be quite a problem right there. Environmental, I like to consider, could also be, who are you working with? Who are the people in your life, your friends? What type of location are you living in? Are you in the city or are you in the country? All of that is going to come into play. Are you drinking city water or are you drinking well water? A lot of different contributors as to your environment, and that has an impact on your health and the different issues that you may be experiencing. Then I also like to break down into nutrition. What you're eating has an impact on your body. So like I mentioned, when I got my genetics tested and I did different other tests like blood work and such, I was able to figure out the fact that I have a specific diet correlated with my body that I'm going to take better to than others. And what I put in my body is going to be absorbed better. My body's going to handle it better. So your nutrition has another impact as well in regards to if you're absorbing certain nutrients or not. And if you're not eating according to your body, or if you're not eating foods that are, as whole food as possible, you're eating more processed junk, that is going to impact your body in the fact that it's going to get in the way of your absorption of other vitamins and minerals and going to create gut issues as well. Then we have movement. So this pertains to exercise, yes, and taking time out of your day to make sure you're exercising, but it also pertains to, how much of the day are you just sitting compared to moving? Are you taking walks? Does your job require you, let's not say require, but does your job have you sitting more than actually walking around, or, whatever. So movement is big because that keeps your body going. It also keeps your, the different drainage systems going in your body, and that can help clear out toxins. That's another impact. Then we have spiritual. So as a believer, I know that there's a higher power. I have God in my life. And so he's the ultimate over me, and relying on him for certain situations versus myself can have a huge impact on my health. If I didn't have God in my life and I just thought that life was on my shoulders and that I was the one in control, that could have a big stress on your body, because you're always trying to amount to something even though you can't get there, because we're imperfect human beings. And so having a higher power, having God in my life, I realized that I am not going to be a perfect human being. I can try, but if I don't become perfect, or if I'm not perfect, which I'm not going to be, it's okay. And having that grace in yourself, because I know that God, already died for my sins. And so having a spiritual health in your life is a huge impact as well, and how it amounts to, how you react to certain things. It also, includes gratitude into it. Are you grateful every single day? And having gratitude has such an impact on your overall health and well-being. If you're depressed, are you grateful for things in life? By taking steps of gratitude, you're able to boost your mood, and that impacts, all the different catecholamines like serotonin, oxytocin, dopamine, all of that, and it boosts it. And then we also have mental. And so this encompasses a lot. So how are you talking to yourself? Are you self-sabotaging? What's your mindset like? Are you consistently learning in a way where you're growing your mind versus staying stagnant? Do you have negativity in regards to, how you think, or are you thinking positively? It also has to do with gratitude. Are you reading, and are you consistently growing? You can also have to do with, the depression in your life, and the different impacts that how you think, it ultimately has such an impact on all the other areas of your life. And so if you're constantly thinking in a stressed state, then the rest of your health can go, downward, because of the fact that, always thinking in a negative tone is going to then ultimately destroy your body, because your mind is so powerful, and the mind is connected with the gut. And so by always thinking that, or always being stressed, your gut is disrupted. And then that occurs with various problems as well. All that to say is, it obviously takes a holistic approach when it comes to optimizing your body and your health. Getting your genetics tested is not going to be the end all be all in regards to you're going to have it all figured out if you get your genetics tested. Just getting a gut test might not be the, solve all your problems test either, because what if there's other issues going on? And just solving your gut might be great, but there's other environmental factors that are impacting, your gut health and your overall well-being. So taking a holistic approach to your health encompasses all kinds of different areas if we break it down into pillars. And not only the pillars, but then also the process and system of it. So it's like a systems biology. So going upstream, you're experiencing this, and this. Let's look at the root cause of it, and then work upstream from there. So I wanted to put this episode out because I felt like as much as I am, pushing getting your genetics tested and such, I don't fully believe that that's all you should do. I really believe that, you should get blood work done. You should try to do it every 6 months if you can. You should also be doing this in your health. You should also maybe do a gut health test, do an analyzation of your, environment mentally. Are you doing different things that are going to calm your mind? There's a lot of different factors that play in when it comes to optimizing your body. And so I want it to be really clear that genetics is not going to be the one solution to your problems. Looking at a specific gene is not going to be the one solution to all your health issues. So when it comes to the mother effer gene, which is very common in regards to, do I have the mutation or not? That is not the end all be all. And part of that is the fact that the mother effer gene has different other genes that are impacting on how that one is expressed. And each person is different as well. So getting your genes tested can really allow you to see the big picture at the cellular level, and then also getting other tests done and doing different lifestyle changes are going to impact that as well. So let me know what your thoughts are on this episode. I'd love to hear back from you. Share it if you felt that this really impacted you and there's other people in your life that it could impact too. It really means more than you know. If you're interested in getting your genetics tested and knowing about the process that I have when it comes to what I have to offer, I have my website linked down below, and you can book a clarity call and we can see what's the best step for you to take. And maybe you just want to learn more and you're not ready to take any step, and that's fine too. So be sure to head over to those links down below, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.